Hey, I'm Brian. We're doing something a little different today. If you haven't noticed, I think you're going to really enjoy it. We're in the beginning of a brand new series called We Are. Not they are, we are. We're trying to recapture this idea that inside of a church, there is the capacity to think in terms of we, not they. One of the most powerful books in the whole Bible is the book of Acts. It's all about the power of a team that came together that was following Jesus and was turning the world upside down. And they were doing it not as a bunch of individual isolationists that had their own pet passions, but they were becoming one as a team. They were a we. I want us as a church to become a we. And some of us in here right now are like, I'm not even sure if this is my church. It's just kind of one of my spiritual things I dabble in. Great. I want to paint a vision for you, though, today, that there is a power in we. In fact, every great thing that's happened in the world has happened in the context of we. There's been great individuals. But for there to be a great movement that takes off, it's always tied to a team. It's always tied to we. One of the things I've noticed in our society is we want to belong to something. We want to see something that is interesting and sets us apart and causes us to be with other people. Like this thing right here, when I was in my major motorcycling mode, or actually my main ride was a Harley Davidson. This is one of the shirts I used to have. I used to always, wherever I went, actually buy a shirt from the place I'd just taken a trip to. And I won't wear this without my sleeves on right now because I wouldn't want to cause all the ladies here to stumble. But nonetheless, when I take a look at this brand here, you realize that Harley, the reason why they're so powerful, it's the only brand in the whole world that people will tattoo on their bodies. Because people, when they ride a Harley, they want to feel that they're a part of we. This is part of our spiritual DNA. We want to feel like we're part of a we. We wish that we could take a look at D-Day and be a part of it. We wouldn't want to get shot at perhaps, but there's something magical about being a part of a team that accomplished something. Civil rights movement. We look at those heroes, they operated as a we and they changed our country for the better. This is part of why movies like 300 are so attractive to us. We're drawn to laying down our life with other fellow warriors. Or if it's technology, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. The idea of being able to be together and chart a new technological history. I wasn't around in Cincinnati during the 70s, but anybody who was, you know about the big red machine. There was a unifying concept there, but I do know about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, yeah. Something about being in Pittsburgh. Well, you were a we simply because you were in Pittsburgh and you were cheering for the Steelers and all those Super Bowl years. Of course, the Mighty Ducks. I mean, come on. Who doesn't remember and love the Mighty Ducks? We're going to take a look at another team in a little bit that's one of the more powerful teams that you've never heard of in relation to 9/11. What's the big point before we start looking at our team of Crossroads? It's just this. If we're not in a we, we're not having the life of impact that we can have, and we're not having a sense of solidarity. We're going to look at the history of who we have been as we are becoming who God wants us to be, and we're going to go all the way back to the very beginning with a few people who actually were around before even I was. So let's start with a couple great friends of mine and people who have impacted you, Jim and Brian.